remember when I was a kid, I did not like the word challenge. I did not like the idea of a challenge. I did not like anything that was really hard, perceived as hard, right? Like when kids would talk about like liking a challenge, or an adult would talk about liking a challenge, it honestly would throw me off. It put me off. I felt different about them and their choice of words and all that kind of stuff. I didn't realize then, but that was really just a projection from the inside. I didn't realize then, but me being adverse to challenge was just a showing of my own uh, ease of living in comfortability. It was my own acceptance of living very comfortably as a child that made me dislike the idea, just the idea, right, of a challenge. Now, as I've grown and as I've developed, I've come to be someone who is very excited by challenges, someone who is excited to do something that's perceived as hard, right? How did I get from one place to the other? Well, you could say life. What I would also say is a shift in paradigm, a subconscious shift within myself that I chose to let happen. Many different ones, I should say, as well. Again, it's never a all at once process, right? It's always a day by day, consistent process by which we go through to foster any real change in our life, right? We must allow the gestational period of the universe to catch up with us whenever we change our reality, I should say. So what did that look like for me? Well, again, I was this kid who was very, very much comfortable. Played a lot of video games. You know, that was the gist of it, right? I stopped when I got on the Xbox back in 5th grade. I stopped going outside a lot, and I had a lot of comfortability within that. I started eating a lot more food that wasn't good for me, I might add, and I overall just fit into comfortability. I was not challenged in a lot of different ways, and I could feel it. I remember feeling it at times, like, especially the biggest thing, I've told you this before, told you guys this before, is the conversation, right? Whenever there was a chance to kind of converse with somebody, like an adult or whatever, that was out of the norm, I was scared by that. I ran away from that almost every time that I could. Now, if I was pushed into it, it was what it was, but I was this very shy, anxious kid, right? And in that, I felt that I was avoiding that challenge. I was avoiding conversation, and I knew somewhere deep down inside of that little child, I knew that it was a bad idea to avoid it, but I still made the decision to do so. And we're talking very young here. I remember these decisions, right? So as I grew up, as I developed, I got into different scenarios and environments that ended up challenging me. Like, for instance, 7th grade, I got into wrestling. I had a couple of friends who was in it, and they somehow encouraged me to get in it and do it, get out of my comfort zone completely, go out there and wrestle. This act of staying consistent with the wrestling was a complete paradigm shift for me as well, for sure, because I was out there, grappling guys, getting dirty, getting busy, whatever you want to say, getting aggressive and going one-to-one with everybody, right? So it got me out of my comfort zone within that. As I worked out, as I got more into it, as I challenged myself more, things about my body changed, and I was more happy with where I was at in certain ways. Now, overall, I still struggle with the mental consistency of the sport, meaning showing up day after day, grueling workouts, tournaments on the weekends during the middle of the season, matches throughout the week. It was a challenge, for sure. It was a challenge, and I hate to say it, but in that time, I didn't love it. I don't think I ever loved it. I had fun at some of the tournaments. I had fun at some of the matches. I had fun at some of the challenges, but overall, I hated it then. Now, looking back now, I miss it. I miss every second of it. I wish I would have took it so much farther than I did, right? I ended up quitting in sophomore year, by the way. But I wish I really would have stuck with it for a multitude of reasons. But back then, the mental part of it, I couldn't get out of my own head. I struggled to be present on the mat because part of me had such this resistance to challenge still. Even though these challenges had changed so much of a part of my life and how I felt about life, I still had a resistance to it. I still had a resistance to the grueling practices and everything else, you name it. So I ended up quitting. I had this lack of focus, ultimately. I was allowing a lot of my efforts to be devoted to, having fun with friends, essentially, right? So I went through that process. I quit and then fell on my face even harder, resultingly. I quit wrestling, quit football, quit a lot of different things in my life. And that was the ugliest point of my life shortly thereafter. Funny enough, when I quit on the challenge that had changed me the most, everything seemed to crumble shortly after that. All right, it's funny the decisions we make and how they change our life. Very funny. I say funny, it's very interesting, I should say. So anyways, moral of the story is that challenge is what life is all about, right? Because growing is what life is all about. So, and to grow, you have to challenge yourself. You have to do something new. You have to try something new. You have to do something that's uncomfortable. That is how you grow in any facility, in any industry, in anything at all. You must be challenged to grow and to change, right? To change for the better, I should say. So, let me know what you think of this. We're out here. It's a beautiful day out here. Just got a great workout in. Have an amazing day, guys.